G'day, Matt from UAV Wholesale. We're just doing a flight test on the SPLASHdrone this morning. Just connected the battery up there. Pretty obvious there's no external power button, which I didn't realise. But that's fine. It's only 4 thumb screws to get the hatch off. You can see in there that there's some random flashing of the lights. You can see a red light flashing and also a blue light flashing. Now the blue light just means that it's in manual mode, I suppose, so there's no GPS activation. I'll switch the GPS switch on the controller here, so that's manual. Switch it down there and you'll see now that there's actually a green light, which means it's in GPS mode. We clearly don't want that for takeoff, so I'll just go back. Now the red light that's flashing, you can see that there's only one red flash at a time. That just means that although it's red, it's good GPS, so it's got above 6 satellites. And if we have a look on the controller, you can see that it says in the top left, satellites, 6. We're going in between 6 and 7. So they don't recommend that you use GPS function under 6 satellites. So it's quite handy that you can actually see it on the screen. I know there are some other brands that do tell you how many satellites you're seeing, but it is just I suppose reassurance of what's actually happening instead of going off a flashing LED. So we'll tighten the thumb screws up. We'll just go for a lift off in manual and we'll see how it performs. The way you arm the SPLASHdrone, similar to other models, just pull down and then out, and the motor starts spinning straight away. Okay, so we're still in manual here, so you can see that it handles quite well. Very smooth takeoff. You can see those lights under the front if the cameraman can go around to the front of the aircraft. You can see the lights on the bottom, which indicate that flashing red, which means we know we've got above 6 satellites still, and we've also got the flashing blue, which means that we're just in manual mode. Righto, we're 6 minutes into the flight time currently. Still GPS holding there. It's pretty stable, and we don't have a lot of it. We've got a little bit of a breeze from the east, but that's about it. So holding quite nicely there. We do have 8 satellites now, and it does seem to appear like it holds a lot better with sort of 8 to 10 satellites, although they do say you can go flying on above 6 with GPS, but from what we're seeing, GPS hold is a lot more stable with 8 and above satellites. So you can see it's quite happy to hang out there. Just grab the transmitter and we'll just show you while we've got it up here the release mechanism. So we can get under here, have a look. Okay, we're now just over 16 minutes into the flight. We've started getting flashing LEDs on the aircraft, and that's at 14.2 volts. So we'll just leave it in GPS hold and let it run its course. I believe the first set of flashing lights is the first warning, so we will leave it as is and see what happens next. Okay, we're getting a flashing red light now on the bottom, continually flashing, which is the second warning. That's come in at 14 volts. Second warning. And now the third warning, the aircraft's starting to descend itself. And that's obviously landing itself. There's our controller. And landed itself. We're shut down at around about 13.9, 14 volts. So it looks like they're the settings. We're sitting on just over 17 minutes. So 17 minutes flight time it looks, hovering. And fail safe. Probably wouldn't want to be flying a SPLASHdrone below 14.2 volts, I'd suggest, going by those fail safe settings. Thank you.